We're going to switch our conversations now, talking about youth and the general elections. I have here with me members of the APC and the PDP, Jide Balogun and Ikem Ishekwena. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you very much.
Let me start with you now, Jide. Election season is hot in the air. There's a lot that's being talked about, but at the same time, it also feels like it's a very tame sort of campaign going on. There isn't a lot happening physically. We see some things, I mean, words being thrown in the pages of newspapers, but the campaign season seems to be very tame, and it's translated to almost apathy on the part of young people. What is happening?
Well, you know, like we said earlier, you already said it. It seems like it's not really going out there because, like in my own party, we're doing. You can see what's going on in the face of the campaign. We're doing our own. Everything is being done, but we don't know what the other party is doing right now. So
what are you doing exactly? What are you doing? You're a member of the PDP, I believe.
Yes, I am.
What are you doing? What is happening with your campaign? What are young people supposed to know at this point about the PDP and their promises?
Oh, the PDP has been doing the right thing to do, like you already know. We started our campaign. We've been going through different areas, and you can see we just had one recently in Jos, where the presidential candidate, which is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, was present, and we've been doing other states, and in a couple of days' time, we'll be doing Ekiti, and coming back to Lagos. So it's going well with the PDP.
This present government came into power, for the most part, on the backs of young people. People were very excited, even as much as the candidate was not particularly a young candidate. A lot of young people were excited for change, as it were. Do you think that still is the case? Because there's a belief that most people are not that excited anymore with politics and with your party.
Well, to answer the question, absolutely. I think that, yes, what was promised as far as change is concerned, you know, most of it, if you were to evaluate all of what the candidates as of 2014, 2015 promised and weigh them against his actions 3.5 years down the line, what you will find is that there's been a consistent effort at achieving most of what was promised. And there are a litany of, you know, stuff that you can just go through and take. So what I'll say is what was promised is done. So I'll take a few just highlights, especially as it pertains to young people. So one of the things that is quite significant with the youth polity is the question of jobs. And you will find that the problem with jobs is the lack of skills and the relevance of skills to the jobs that are available on the market. So you find that people graduate from tertiary institutions, graduate from secondary schools, and they can't take up jobs that are available. So when,
what jobs are available?
Yeah, so I'll get to that. So when this administration came into power in 2015, so mid-2015 to end of year of 2015, they carried out a survey. Now this survey was to show where the jobs were and what needed to be done. And what we found was that there's a lot of skills deficiency, you know, so in construction, in the retail sector, you know, and also in the public sector with regards to teaching. Now, quick fact, in Nigeria, we have 540,000 primary school teachers. And that's for a population of over 30 million young people who are in the primary school age category. So what's the big thing to do? So the big thing to do was to do an NPower. And NPower was to engage 500,000 young people, and by 67%, add up 325,000 young people as teachers in primary schools who are basically doing teaching and are better equipped than the primary school teachers who are currently on the job.
Let me come to you now, Jide, because he's talking promises now, and that's a very important part of this conversation, because I know that some of the most important things...
But it's not promises, it's stuff we've done.
I'm talking about campaign promises now. Okay. In 2015, there were some key points that Mr. President talked extensively about, at least in paper, even if we didn't necessarily hear him. The economy, security, and corruption. Those were very important to Nigerians at the time. Still are, but those were some of the policies that the current administration ran on to get into office. How would you assess them?
I don't think the current government has done anything based on everything they promised. Because on the issue of the security, as that we can still see that back in the Boko Haram is still taking hold of the country. So all these promises they gave earlier on, I don't think they've even done anything on it. So left to me, the promises were just things of the mouth. It's not done.
What about corruption?
They said they're chasing corrupt people. It's just like they're picking the people from the other party, which is the PDP, and putting them in jail or interrogating them in EFCC. Why, if you go to the APC, automatically you're a saint? I can name names that we already know that these guys were in former parties, and now, because they moved to the other party, they're already saints. So it doesn't make no sense.
Go ahead and name the names.
It does not make sense. You want me to name names?
Yes, please.
These are what the people of Nigeria know.
Identify one. Just identify one. You're on national TV.
No, for example, now Orji Uzo-Kalu was...
Is there a charge in court?
You keep saying, okay.
Is there a charge in court?
All you're saying now...
Can you just answer? No, is there a charge in court? Orji Uzo-Kalu that you have identified.
The EFCC is an
absolutely, there's a charge in court.
Excuse me, sir.
So you can't say
because there's a charge in court. Excuse me, sir. There's a charge in court.
Don't make allegations.
Okay, this is not an allegation on TV. It's not really an allegation. You just have to... What I'm saying is, everything they promise is not being done.